A lot of times we talk about economy that's doing pretty bad. But one of the things that we don't talk about is that we're seeing a bunch of buildings, a lot of companies going up. So if it's doing so bad, it kind of make you wonder, is it really doing bad? Or is it kind of, I'm not going to call it fake bad, but right now I'm delivering to a spot right now. It's a new building going up. We're not only noticing a bunch of buildings going up, we see a lot of companies going up. We see a lot of companies that's been made out here to the point where as though you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? What's going on with the economy? You don't quite understand. Well, I don't think it's made for us to really understand it. I think we at a point now where as though we're seeing a bunch of growth in areas that we don't know where this growth is at, but we also seeing that a lot of corporations are taking ownership of all these buildings going up. You don't know what's going to be there. You just know that we see buildings going up. But we also see that a lot of truck drivers are quitting. And when I say they're quitting jobs where they've been in for a while. They've been over the road. They've been moving back and forth, bobbing and weaving through lanes, making it through different states. When we talk about going to different places in different states, we seeing these drivers putting in work. Not only putting in work, but they're not being paid the right balance of money that they should be getting. Like at a time where as though wages were, I'm gonna say they were supposedly right, or to the point where as though people was able to have a lifestyle where as though they was comfortable. Well, where we at now is we at a point now where as though our lifestyle is not conducive to what the life is right now. Like everything is overly inflated, overly high. We at a point where as though you can't really make a living without two incomes. That's if you don't make at least a good 90 or 80. I'm gonna say about 80. I'm gonna say 75 is really the threshold. Anything under that, you really gonna feel it. You also have people that are in the high six-figure bracket, but at the same time, this does come from a spending habit. A spending habit where as though you supplemented your income with crazy activities and crazy toys. Meaning you needed that BMW, you needed that new Benz, you needed whatever you needed. You needed to make sure everybody was living up to par to the six-figure bracket. Well, what's happening now is now you start to see the world starting to slow down. But in the midst of seeing the slowdown, you're also seeing this. Seeing a bunch of companies go up. You're seeing a bunch of businesses. You're seeing a lot of people working. Look at that, a crew right here. It's crew back there. But at the same time, when you're seeing these things, you're also noticing that we actually at a point now where as though people got to start to be a lot sharper, a lot smarter. Not only becoming a lot smarter, but you got to be savvy with your money. You can't just be using your money, just doing whatever you want with it. Those are the old days. The old days was you can spend reckless and you can make up for it. Well, I'm looking at this building right now. Don't know what it's going to be. I'm here to deliver, waiting on the construction crew, whoever is going to meet me right here. But at the same time, it made me realize that these people are working. I've been seeing a lot of companies go up. But what I have noticed is it's mainly like the big areas. Like when you're looking at certain areas, like you look at like California. California had a lot of companies that have been leaving there going towards the south. Texas is booming. Not only booming, but you got Carolina. Carolina's a booming area. I can't speak for all of Carolina. I know like South Carolina, North Carolina, they've been doing some things. Raleigh. I can't speak for New York, but I can say Jersey. Jersey is a pretty booming area. New York, I would say yeah, but I can't speak. I'm always in New York, but I never worked in New York, so I can't speak for New York. I can speak for also places like, what's some other places? Arizona. Arizona's a popping spot where you got a nice amount of companies. And when you see this, like you see these companies prospering and doing their thing out here, is they're doing it because of taxes. That's why you start to see people go to other areas. I think one of the reasons why you don't see that many places booming like that in Vegas, because Vegas is up and down. Vegas is one of those areas that's so open to the point where as though you will have to have a big change of infrastructure, meaning that you will have to have Vegas will have to be bombarded with a bunch of companies in order to, I guess, make it out there. Reason why, because it's mainly a place for people that have money, they retiring, or they retired, whatever. They have a company, they have an extra home, or they have a nice amount of money, whereas though they able to use that for an extra house. I say that because Vegas is a comfortable area, but at the same time, it has to be an area that they can maintain business. It's hard to maintain business in the area where people only come to visit there maybe every 3 to 4 or 5, some even 10 years. And that's down because of the economy, dealing with when it comes to betting and whatnot. It's especially you got a bunch of casinos up in different areas now. And I know from moving from the Philadelphia area, we have a casino in Philly. I'm out in Jersey, and Jersey has the Atlantic City. Not only Atlantic City, but we also have online betting all over the world. So when you look at the online betting, you also look at how people operate out here, and you see how they try to maintain their life. This is probably one of the reasons why it's confusing to most people. How is it that you walking around here and you seeing people driving past you in a camper and they have all these big trucks? Well, I'm gonna tell you something like this. You don't really know what people are doing. You don't even know if that's the owner. I know that for a fact because it's a building I go past. I can't tell you what building it is, but when I go past it, I realize, damn, that's the owner. I didn't know that was the owner until I went to the building to deliver. And I was like, yo, who? I said, who's that be pulling up? And I told them what car. They have the new Bentley. Oh, that thing bad. But they was like, oh yeah, that's the owner. And I said, damn, he come here all the time? They said, yo, he come. He be here. He be walking around. You know what I mean? They said he antisocial. He don't really be talking much. He just go, walk around, just checking everything. Whereas though he most likely don't have to be there. But I guess you got an owner like that that's so hands-on, he needs to see his work being done, which is nothing wrong with that. When people are paying employees, doesn't matter what they do. At the end of the day, they can do whatever they want, as long as they don't disrespect and do stuff and try to violate people. But they want to make sure that their money is being put to use, which is understandable. The reason why I say that's understandable because at the end of the day, we done seen a big market of people that's just being let go, and they being let go because productivity is horrible today. The times where people used to sit on the clock and kill the clock, them days are over. Days are over. And the reason why those days are over is because when companies start to see the loss, they start to see the money that they kind of like journaled away. It kind of felt like it went down the drains. You get to a point where as though you're like, no, we're not doing this again. We actually going to start looking at the books. We're going to start looking at hours. We're going to start looking at people that we can't rely on. If they can't rely on you, they better let you go. And if they let you go, you're going to have to go somewhere else. But at the same time, when you're going somewhere else, you know you're not going to be able to operate the same way. You're not going to be held to another standard. You know why? Because when you go with a new company, the new company is not tolerating your nonsense. You know why? They don't know you. They don't care to know you. All they want to do is, what's the productivity? Are you doing the job that we pay you to do? That's what they care about. They care about the bottom line. This is my message. The organizations that we work for, I understand that a lot of people out here like to be their own boss. But along with being your own boss, it's a cost to everything. It's a cost to ownership, and it's a cost for the survival rate of your company being able to maintain a profit. You can't pay bills with no income. So that being said, if you don't set yourself up properly, and that advice is a lot of times can't really be given to you, you have to really jump in the pot. And the reason why I say that, because every company is not created equal. You can get advice from millions and millions of people. At the end of the day, just because they're doing something similar does not mean they're doing the same thing. Trust and believe is one thing. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you. And they will not believe in your products, whatever you're trying to push. You have to be mindful of the economy we're in, and you got to be mindful. You have to be reminded of the cost, what it takes to obtain that type of leadership in business that you want behind you in order to push your product. Whatever you're doing, I don't know what you're doing, what kind of service you're putting out, but at the end of the day, your customers have to be able to communicate to you, not verbally, like call you on the phone. I'm talking about be able to associate themselves with you and say, I can see myself buying that product. I can see why this person came out. I want to buy. I want to buy what they're pushing. So always be mindful of that, you know. I don't know if I messed that word up, but hey, look, trust and love, like and subscribe, and be on your grind, all right?